me, and welcome to episode 44 of The Weekly Whisper. I'm your host, Elian Habanero, and I'm here to talk all things in the news of 365 Pro Wrestling. And you know what? The biggest thing is obviously on my mind, and I'm sure everybody's mind, is 4 days away from the second doubleheader of the year. 365 does it all again this Saturday. Campbell River, BC, Willow Point Lions Club. They're going to do an event at 2 p.m. Pacific Time and 7 p.m. Pacific Time. I don't know how many tickets are left, but if you want some, get on it now because by the time this drops, 4 days away, probably isn't any left. But it's good to look into it. Maybe get in there. Maybe you can sneak in there. And obviously we're going to talk as much as we know about that show. And we got a couple other interesting tidbits to talk about. It's going to be another good episode. And then I can't wait till the next week. The results episodes are always my favorite. And before I get into that, I just want to say thank you to all my viewers. Getting to me 100 views last week again. I think I've had about 4 or 5 episodes that have got over 100 views. I appreciate everybody for watching and making it worthwhile for me to do this and give you the best news show I can. It's just me. I've had a few guests on, but just try and give you everything that you need to know. And some things maybe you already know. It just depends how much you're floating around social medias or you're on the Twitch or on the YouTube. But I just try and wrap it up tightly into a nice little package for everyone. And so we're pretty excited that, I don't know if you've been noticing, but the 365 has done 2 episodes of what they call 365 Adrenaline. They debut on Twitch and then after they get put up on YouTube and Facebook. Well, the contracts have been finalized, and they've signed a deal with Shaw TV on Vancouver Island. I'm not sure about all the areas of the island. I believe it's for sure the north from like Campbell River north for now. But there's still being things changed to the deal and will be added in later days. But they have finalized the contract that Adrenaline, 365 Adrenaline, will be on Shaw TV. Big news for the company, 365, and just a high five to everybody involved to get that deal done. And wow, that's some exciting news. So the people of the island can become more familiar with the 365 product, and also it'll make it great for running live events eventually in some of those towns when things open back up more. Luckily, they have Campbell River though that they are still able to do it at. Like here in Ontario and BC, every town seems to be different as far as cases go and bylaw and rules and regulations. I feel like you could ask 2 halls or venues and they'll give you different answers. But so yeah, look for that. If you're able to get Shaw TV on your local Vancouver Island TV channel, I'm not sure the date. I will get back to you on that. And then of course what I was talking about. The 3rd episode will air this Wednesday, tomorrow, on the Twitch channel. Episode 3 of Adrenaline, I believe there's a Tag Team Championship match and a Global Women's Championship match. And then, starting Thursday, they're going to do the Twitch Ontario special. The first one will kick off with Warhead, the Warhead special, Warhead the King of Pain. He'll be doing, I believe it's like a top 5 thing like they did for some of the BC guys. I'm not sure 100% on that, but I kind of got the impression that's what it would be. So that should be really good. So Tuesday you got the Whisper, Wednesday you got Adrenaline, Thursday you got some pay homage to some of the Ontario people and let them know that we're still thinking about them and we still wish to do wrestling here, and whenever it's able to, it will be. And of course, I mentioned it last week, the Pro Wrestling Academy, so we can still say PWA, right? Everyone's making jokes about that, is back in Campbell River. So make sure to message Facebook and Instagram for the 365 social media sites if you want more information on that. They have an actual Pro Wrestling Academy separate Facebook and Instagram, but I'm sure even if you just got in touch with the 365 company somehow, some way, someone will direct you where you have to go. This is the perfect time. If you want to be involved in the wrestling business, I can personally speak volumes about the credentials of the trainers there and the quality of the school. And you know, if I had to recommend someone to do it, I would definitely recommend that place. And so we announced some matches last week, and we got a couple more to announce for the upcoming doubleheader. But this is kind of weird because usually weeks and weeks in advance we have the full card. We do not have that now. I know Dr. Walls usually puts out a video a day or two before the event, so maybe he's just finalizing some things, so he was not able to provide with me all the matches, but I do have a couple new ones and also a bit of a change to one of them. So I'll go through that with you, and then TJ Harley, I wanted to talk about him quickly before I get into this. He was suspended from the last event due to some of his actions, but he's been allowed to be brought back. But he has announced his real name, and I'm going to butcher this, I'm sorry, with a strange video, like all of his videos are. And I always thought TJ standed for Thoughtless Jester. It does not. It stands for what? Okay. I'm going to try this. I might not have even written it down right. But apparently his name stands for Thelonious Hovinius Harlequin. So we'll see what that means and why he decided to let us know this at this particular time. Everything's a mystery with this guy lately. But so the 2 p.m. show I talked about last week, how first of all, the Tag Team Championships will be on the line as last event, Havico and Eddie Osborne. No one seems to like that name as much as me. But anyway, they put their Tag Team Championships on the line against the bitter rivals, Brett Matthews and Jordie Taylor, and they successfully defended them. But it's going to be a little bit different this time because they're taking on the Voros twins, and the Voros twins are tag team specialists. Not saying Havico and Io are any slouch, but they're not twins, so they don't do everything together. But coming off the momentum for that last show, and I don't know what the last time the Voros twins wrestled either is. There's not a lot of stuff going on, a lot of places, so maybe they'll have some ring rust that will work to the champion's advantage. And so I mentioned that match last episode of The Whisper, and then I was also talking about a 4-weight global championship match. It was going to be between Travis Williams, Rhea Von Slasher, Liza Hall, and Nolan James, but Dr. Walls had a conversation with the global champion Travis Williams, and he expressed that he thought it was unfair that he defended his title twice on this doubleheader, because last time he defended his title twice in the last doubleheader event there that took place in October. So, and he wrestled another match, so he did 3 matches in two events in the same day. So he said that he would request that he only defend it once throughout the doubleheader, and Dr. Walls has granted him that request. So it's changed. Travis Williams will be out of that match. It'll just be Liza Hall, Rhea Von Slasher, and Nolan James in a 3-way contest, which will determine the #1 contender for Travis Williams' Global Championship. And then Brett Matthews, the newly crowned Grand Champion, who just won at the last event over Jordie Taylor in that street fight, he will make his first Grand Championship defense, and he'll be doing against none other than Clay Wilson. He said it, and he meant it. He's going back to British Columbia. Must have like a sponsor or someone that maybe is not bribing the office, but making deals with the office to get him out that way. But congratulations to him for getting out there again, and best of luck to him to become the Grand Champion, possibly. And then, I mean, if he wins that, then he's definitely going to be in the future of the BC territory out there. So Brett Matthews versus Clay Wilson for the Grand Championship. And that's all we have right now currently for the 2 p.m. show. There'll be other matches, as always. There's also other people scheduled to appear, of course, like Jordie Taylor, Cremator, just the regulars. Judas Icarus should be there. Like, I'm just trying to think of people who are on the second card as well, or maybe some of them are only coming for the later show. We'll see. There's a post on social media that says the scheduled talent to appear, but it doesn't really say if they're all for one show or they're all for both shows. So those are the 3 matches we have so far. 3 great stellar matches, but I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 more in the coming days. I don't know if there's going to be an announcement to be made, or if it'll just be a surprise for the live crowd. And either way, I can't wait to read you those results next week. And then for the 7 p.m. show, we talked about this last week, that Travis Williams will be defending against Judas Icarus, who is the #1 contender due to picking up a couple big wins at the last event. So Golden Boy Travis Williams will defend the Global Championship against Judas Icarus in the main event. And then also one other match has been added to the 7 p.m. event or announced, which will be Haviko, who at that point could still be a tag team champion. He'll be taking on the old greedy bastard Jordy Taylor, who is very hungry to get back in the win column and get himself on the championship hunt once again. And then obviously TJ or Thelonious Hovonious Harlequin and the Cremator and then Liza Hall and Rhea, so they're all going to fit in there somewhere. And it's going to be a great card, and I can't wait to see it. But because this week they're starting the Ontario specials, I just wanted to quickly put out there my top 5 list this week would be top 5 Ontario specials I'd like to see, who I would like to see specials on, whether I just think they have great matches, or I would love to hear their explanations of their matches, or just miss them and haven't heard from them for a long time. But here's my top 5 Ontario 365 PWA history of the brand throughout the times, people or superstars that I would like to see featured on the Thursday Twitch at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Remember that, because the Wednesday special is 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Pacific, and the Thursday is 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 Pacific. But here's my top 5 Ontario specials I'd like to see. Number 5, I picked first Josh Alexander. Had some incredible 5-star matches, I guess you could call him. He's currently Impact Wrestling 2-time tag team champions as part of the North with his tag team partner Ethan Page. But man, his history on that 365 YouTube page, some amazing matches, and his schedule is really heavy. But if you could get him to do it somehow, I'd love to see that. Number 4, someone who recently retired, Beautiful Bia. I would love to hear her top 5 favorite matches or best matches or whatever, and just just kind of, especially she's probably been doing a lot of reminiscing lately and looking back, and I feel like that'd be a really great episode. Number 3, Joey Allen, who's, other than posting silly things on social media, I haven't really heard from him since he was my guest here on the Weekly Whisper. I'd love to see a top 5 special on Joey Allen and just have him check in as well. And then number 2, I picked Lenny Lilac. I'd like to see a special with Lenny Lilac. He always entertains me. I interviewed him once on my old show, The Willow Show, and I really enjoyed that. And then number 1, I picked the big ticket Reggie Marley, the final ever PWA Pure Wrestling Champion. And his thing goes back longer than anybody else I can think of that's been a superstar for PWA 365. He goes back like 23 years now, and he gave me his collection to help 365 put it on YouTube. So he's got some classic matches, some current matches, and I would love to see a top 5 from him. The only thing we can do is ask you to please like, or you get a leg drop, comment, or you get a clothesline, subscribe, or you get a suplex, and share, or you get a sleeper. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba!